Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. We're doing this again. And by we're doing this again, I mean we tried to go live at 1 o'clock, had some serious technical difficulties, had to stop the live and restart. So, since I plan on deleting that video, pardon me, I wanted to start over completely and hopefully it'll run smoothly this time. So we are going to be making the dog walking bag. The pattern is we call it the River Walker in our shop. It's one of my favorite bags to make. The pattern is the Slim Dog Walking Bag by Sewn Ideas. And thank you so much to Sewn Ideas for letting me film this. We are going to be we're going to actually be making 2 bags today. I've already cut them out and prepped them, but they're going to be with the first bag. It's going to be this gorgeous fabric from Thunderbird Handcrafted. I don't think it's available anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. But she has amazing prints and hand-dyed fabric over there as well. So there's the hand-dyed that's going to go with that. And then the lining for both of them is going to be this lining from, hey, Cobb. The lining is going to be this water-resistant canvas from Indo Love Creation. That's the first bag. Oh, wait, let me get the tags. And these tags from super cute. And the second bag is going to be with this print from, again, Thunderbird Handcrafted, along with, oh, I didn't grab it. I meant to. Along with this hand-dyed fabric and the same lining from Indo Love. So, oh, and that one gets a cute tag as well as our logo also. And it's got love is a 4-legged word and of course our logo. So, and I got, let's see, the zipper and the webbing for the strap are both from Georgia Girl Stitches. They are amazing. They have so many different colors of webbing and zippers, and it's amazing. And one of the things that I love about them is that they have a lot of variety in the 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch is what we use for the dog walking bags. So, and not a lot of places carry 3/4 inch. So I love them as a source for that. And the hardware that we're going to use today, a lot of it is leftover from an Amazon purchase I made ages ago. It's still really good hardware. I just prefer to get it from Wawak now. Because they're a family-owned business. But so my zipper pulls are from Wawak, but the rest of it, I'm just using up what I've got because I've got it. So we do have some new camera angles today, which hopefully will work this time because that was a nightmare there. Trying to get that set up. So we're going to start with the D-ring connectors. Now, when I did the live last time, I had already done the connectors, but this time I figured I would just go ahead and start from the beginning so I could show you, and hopefully if the iron cam works correctly this time, I'll be able to do it. Yeah, take 18. That's exactly how I feel. Is it jumping? It's not jumping! But guess what? The iron fell asleep because it took us forever to figure that out. So I'll just explain a couple of things while we're waiting for the iron to heat up. These are going to be the D-ring connectors that connect to the bag that the straps are going to hook on. So what we're doing is first of all, I want to point out this is cotton woven fabric. It is not interfaced. If you interface it, it is going to be a bear, no pun intended, because, oh no, that's a moose on that one. Bears on the other part. It is going to be a really hard, you're going to have a really hard time sewing that because it's going to be too many layers. So yeah, the iron, it actually worked. Is it okay? It says it's going. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold these in half long ways. And I'm just folding long sides together, and we're doing wrong sides together as well. So, by the way, if anybody jumps on that is a sewist, has a project to do, feel free to jump on and like chat with me as you're sewing. Because this isn't just a how-to, it's a community builder. So also if if you're interested in purchasing our products, you can see how they're made. So that's one of the big things that I wanted to do. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to take this and fold it in to that where we just ironed. I'm going to do that on both sides. Make sure they're nice and even. And that's going to tuck in and hide those raw edges. It's cotton woven. You don't want raw edges to be seen. I'm going to press that out. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Just fold it to the center. Like so. And then press this. Then we're going to go over to Birdie. I am going to be using Birdie for most of this. I have sewn the entire bag on her before. There's a couple of parts that might get a little tricky, so we'll see. Oh yeah, and if you jump in the chat, please say hi. I will be watching the chat as we go on. And yes, Mike, I did not miss Cobb. I saw Cobb. So we're going to go and we're going to top stitch both of these and get them ready to put on the, get the D-rings installed. Oh, the vacuum got moved in front of my machine. There we go. So I'm using this really cool variegated thread from Wizard Stitchery. I love it. It's awesome. But I'm going to be using it on both bags. I don't really, some of it's not going to match exactly, but it'll still pull the colors together nicely. So I'm just going to go with it. So we're just top stitching this down. Oh, you went too far. And did not line up exactly, so I'm just moving my needle over a little bit. Also, if anybody is curious, I am using a 9014 needle, Microtex 9014, mostly because sometimes I use a 12 instead of a 14, but these are going to get kind of thick, so I am going with a little bit bigger needle. Okay, there's one. And which side do I like better? Oh, I like this side. It's got more colors on it. We'll do that one. Get this one out of the way. Okay, and top stitching, of course, is typically an 1/8 inch from the edge. So that's what I'm doing here. See if that lined up. Nope, it did not. So I'll just move the needle over a touch and go down the other side. I went too far again. Okay, there we go. Just trim this thread off there. We will switch to the table cam and get caught up in, oh, yep, Cobb saying hi to Mike. Cool. So I don't need my phone in the shot. That's funny. Okay, so what I'm going to do is these two, I'm actually going to come over here to this side because it's easier to see. These two are going to be for the D-rings. So I'm going to take these and cut these in half. And then we will put the D-ring through and, yeah, okay, cool. So I'm just going to cut these in half. Get my other scissors. Just going to kind of mark that spot there. Make sure I cut straight. That would be helpful. Do the same thing for this one. Why is that? Oh, that's good. Okay. Thought my tension was off, but it seems like it's pretty good. Just cut along that little fold that I made. And then we're going to take the D-rings. And oh, I talked last time about getting metal clips because the plastic clips keep breaking on me because I've had them forever. And I got some. So I'm going to be trying those out this time. So if I look a little awkward using these, it's because I haven't used them. They are smaller. These are the little clips that I normally use. And you can see the size difference. It's a massive size difference. But these are nice and tight, and I don't think they're going to break like the plastic ones do. Because the plastic ones get weak right through here and pop off. Now, I did get a new set of plastic ones because I was like, well, if I hate the metal ones, then I still need more plastic ones because I was running low. But I'm hoping I like these. And if I do, I'll get some more. I only got a small pack. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to put all these on the D-rings and then just baste them down so that they don't... Come on here. There we go. Baste them down so they don't come apart. There we go. Okay. Switch back. Where's my mouse? Switch to Birdie. And there we go. We're just gonna pop this under here. Whoops. Make sure they stay put. Sometimes I'll put double-sided tape on them just to, so they don't slide on me, but I'm not gonna do that this time. Of course, they'll probably get messed up on me because I said that, but we'll see how it goes. Just go back over. I'm basically just tacking the whole thing down to, I'm basically backstitching across the entire piece because it's such a short little piece. So it's about 3/4 of an inch because this is 3/4 inch hardware. And since Mike always makes a point to ask, backstitching secures the thread. So that's what I'm doing. Well, this one isn't quite lined up. There we go. That's better. Oh gosh, the camera looks like it's moving. That's not great. Hopefully it's not bad. Oh, now we're skipping stitches. That's fun. Wondering if my needle isn't big enough. I mean, we're just basting now, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I may actually switch over to Jester once we get some of the thinner pieces put together. Okay, yeah, that's not liking that. You can hear that popping. That's because the needle is having trouble going all the way through. It's just because there's a lot of layers here. There's actually 6 layers of material. There's, because we folded it on itself and folded one in, so it's actually 8 layers of material. Because now we folded each folded piece in half. So yeah. And that tells me that I am going to need to switch to Jester later because the fabric, when we get to the toward the end of the bag, it is going to be 8 inches thick. 8 layers thick. And I will tell you something about that in a minute too. But we're gonna come back over here. Okay, so we've got our D-rings made. We're gonna just set those aside. I'm gonna use a plastic clip for this just to so they don't run away and get lost. Just clip them together here and set them off to the side. And then, and you may notice, I wrote the pieces. These are homemade pattern labels because their pattern labels have the measurements on them. And while that's great while I'm working, you know, not filming, if you guys want to make this bag, I would really love for you to go Sewn Ideas and buy the pattern. So that's why I made my own little tags here for the pattern piece numbers. So the next piece, oh, I told you I was going to talk about the how thick it's going to get, and actually this is a good time to do it because this piece here, I keep wanting to go to the other side of the table. Let me slide down here. This piece here is this is going to be the phone pocket on the inside. Well, hopefully I enlarged it a little because this pattern is an earlier pattern, and I think phones were smaller back then. My phone doesn't fit in the pattern very well, so I actually made this a little wider. But this pattern actually does have a feature that the rest of the bag has on it as well. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that you always interface cotton woven because it stretches, right? So we interface it. We put fusible woven interfacing on the back. But on these, as I'm going through, you're going to notice that it doesn't go all the way to the edge. And it doesn't go all the way to the edge on purpose because at the end of the bag, we're going to be sewing together both layers of lining, the front and the back. On the bottom, we're going to be sewing together the pocket piece, this pocket piece, this pocket piece, and this pocket piece. So we've got 8 layers that we're going to be sewing through. And on some of these seams, that's going to be doubled where the zippers are. So, or folded over, I should say, where the zippers are. So it's going to get really thick really fast. So I may actually jump over to Jester to do once I get the earlier pieces taken care of. But so I think I want this one. I want this one on the front. That'd be cute. The little house. And yes, I know it's not winter yet, but we have to do things way ahead of time for seasons. So that's why I'm doing this. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to clip them. We're going to make a 2-layered pocket. This is going to go on the inside lining. Oh, these clips are going to take some getting used to. For sure. They're not bad. They hold really, really well. And I'm loving how they are a little smaller. And they have these, I don't know if you can see it. They've got these little plastic things inside, like these little rubber things. So they're not going to leave marks in my fabric, which is amazing. I'm going to have to try it on vinyl to see. See, do I want the bear or do I want wild? Wild, and we've got the bear. I don't know. We'll make the pocket and then decide. So, but yeah, if you are interested in making these, the pattern is by Sewn Ideas at sewnideas.com. She's got a lot of great patterns. And if you want one, but you don't want to make them, we have several on our website right now. These will eventually be on our website. A lot of times when I make stuff, it doesn't go on the website right away because I am not great at photography. And of course you gotta take the picture to put it on the website. So I will get better at over time. Okay. So one of the things I want to point out, and I'm not going to use these little, they're going to drive me nuts trying to do this live. I need to clip faster for lives. So we're just going to redo that. Get the other, I love them. They're just going to take some getting used to, and I don't want to do that while I'm filming. So let me grab this little guy, and Just pull a bunch out. So we actually want to make sure that we know where the bottom is, because the bottom is where we're going to turn this pocket out. So I made sure that I'm right side up on both sides, and this is going to be the bottom. So I'm actually going to mark the bottom with one in the center, so I know where to put my little hole. And I'll mark it in a second with a pen too, but just to get things moving here. Oops. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this one. Let's make sure. Oh, yep, so that was upside down. We're going to want the hole on the bottom. So mark that one in the center again. Okay, so let me grab a pen. All right. And I'm going to make this, what does she say? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to get the corner. Basically just going to do the corner, and I'm going to leave the rest of this open so we can turn it. I just want to be able to get a nice crisp corner, so I will at least go around that. Okay, and for those of you watching at home, this is the air erasable marker. I love this thing. Yep. Let me just check. Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this in 2 steps, actually. I'm going to do 2 steps, I should say, at the machine. So I am going to take my scissors over there as well. Technically, I guess it's 3 steps. Good for attempt tattoos? Oh, no. No, not unless you want them really... You know what? We'll find out. Let's see. There you go. I just wrote on my hand with an air erasing tattoo. Air erasing tattoo. Ha! Air erasing pen. And we'll see how long it takes to disappear. In the meantime... Whoops, wrong one. Birdie Cam. Yay, she's still working, I think. Yep. Okay. All right. So we're going to go around these, sew the seam, and then I'm going to turn them out right here at the machine so I don't have to keep switching back and forth. Shorten my stitch length. Okay. So this is only 2 layers, and I'm actually what I mentioned before about keeping the interfacing smaller than the bag, that just keeps it out of the seam allowance. So when you get toward the end and you've got the 8 layers of cotton, you don't have 8 layers of cotton plus 8 layers of interfacing. So that should make it, I've made a bunch of these. It will make it a lot easier. Is that bouncing the camera? Mike, can you tell me if that's bouncing the camera? Because the camera looks like it's bouncing. I don't know if that's a good thing. In fact, I don't think it is. I don't want to Blair Witch everybody. Okay. I didn't cut these exact, but I'll be right. You'll never notice. No, one more stitch. I think that needs one more stitch too. Okay. Yep, perfect. And as always, I'm backstitching this really well because I'm going to turn the pocket out through it. So just trim that, get the other one done. Now, normally these take me, if I'm making just one, it'll take me about 2 hours to knock one out. I do try to batch sew them because the less time it takes, the less I can charge. I don't like to charge a ton, but I do want to charge for my time. I mean, you know, it is a business, so I want to charge for my time, but I also don't want to price myself out of the market, so I do like to batch sew these. And I love this pattern. One of the things I love about this pattern is that it is mostly rectangles. So it makes it a little quicker to cut out, which is really nice. There's a lot of pieces though, so you do have to pay attention to that. And if you do want to make, oops, I didn't hook the bottom thread. Oops, too far. If you do want to make one, I would recommend, there is a page in the pattern that shows you which piece is which in the finished bag. And even now, when I'm trying to decide what to do, I can do it a lot faster now, obviously, because I've made so many. But I like to kind of map out what I want to go where. So if sometimes I use 3 prints. And I like to map out what goes where. Sometimes, like this time, I'm just using 2. Well, if you want to count the hand dyed as a print, but you know. So there's that. So the next thing we're going to do is, I brought my scissors over, but I didn't. I'm looking over. Oh, cam is still good. Yay. All right. So we're going to cut these corners real close as we can get them without cutting the thread. And we're just doing this to get some of the bulk out of the corner for when we turn the pocket. I really want to be careful not to cut that thread, because then we'll have a hole in the corner and that'll look weird. And do the same thing on this side. Actually, I think I might try something. Well, not try something. I know it works. I think I'm going to do something a little extra on this one to make sure. Sometimes I'll go in again and just cut a little bigger angle. Whoops. Just kind of cut a little bigger angle on either side. Not sure it's really necessary for this, so, but that's just a tip. If you if you are having to push out corners and they're not, you think you need a little bit more bulk removed, then cutting it a little bit more off the edges is helpful. And I think I actually am going to do that for the tops. I don't feel the need to do it for the bottom, but you just go from where you cut before and just snip a little bit more off there. I'll just give that corner a little less fabric to have to fool with. I'll do it on the top. The hole is on the bottom, so I'm just doing it on the top here. I don't remember if I've done this before on them or not, but I figured I thought about it, I might as well do it. Okay, and we're going to turn these out. Make sure I'm still in the, okay, good. So all I'm doing is I'm flipping everything inside out, or right side out, I should say. So I'm going to turn this around, pull this through, and I'm doing it gently. Cotton, even interfaced, can rip, and this interfacing doesn't go all the way to the edge. So I am being really careful about it. Firm, but gentle. I'm gonna do the firm but gentle thing when I get to poking out corners too, because that's really important. Because you definitely don't want little holes in your corners. just started. So I'm gonna just, oops, there's another piece of, there's another corner of fabric. So I'm just gonna go in here and just pop these corners out. And you can use a turning tool for this. This is actually a bookmaking tool. So I have to be really gentle with it, but I've found it to be better than any turning tool I've tried. Some of the turning tools, it's a really good reason to use these types of turning tools, but some of them have a little ball on the end. And that's to help you from keep poking a hole through your fabric. So it's really a smart idea, but I just can't get my corners as crisp with it. So I use the bookmaker's tool. It's pointy, it's hard, and it just goes in the corners easier. Makes a better crisp corner. So you just have to be super duper gentle with it. And it also helps if you push out as much as you can, like with your finger or something, before you use the tool, because that way you don't have to push as hard with the tool. Okay, get this corners popped out. And the next thing, I am not going to switch camera angles for this because it's literally going to take like a couple of seconds, but I am going to press this pocket just so it lays nice and flat at the top. I'll come back and press because I'm going to show you how we do the bottom, but I do want to, my play audio is crunchy. Oh no. Oh, but we're good now. Okay, good. It's right by my neck. Let me just get these flattened out so I can do the top stitch, and then we'll actually switch the camera angle. I just don't want it to, here. I think I'm going to do the bear. Well, the bear's on the front. Maybe I'll do the wild. I like the wild. Yeah, I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so for top stitching these guys, what I was talking about just now is one side of this says wild. The other side has the bottom of the wild and then has the bear. But this bear is actually on the front, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to do the wild side. So we're going to top stitch with the wild up. And lengthen my stitch length. And here we go. And like you said, it sounded like it was in my pocket. I may have just been mumbling. It's entirely possible. Now, some people like to backstitch a little bit with their top stitches. I do not. I prefer to pull them through and tie them off. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want this to be long. And this one, I'm going to make the little house in the tree, the front. I think that'd be cute. So yeah, I definitely think the beginning where we were doing the D-ring connectors, I think it was just, there was too much fabric. Birdie just, well, not too much fabric, but Birdie just didn't like it. So I'm going to take these, and the way I do this is I just tug on the back gently, and then I can pull that thread out. I'm going to do the same thing for all of them. I'm just going to get them pulled out first real quick. Just tugging on that thread to get the front thread to the back. And you can, I mean, you can backstitch top stitches. It's fine. I just prefer to hide that. I just think it looks better if it's tied in the back. Sometimes you have to top stitch or excuse me, sometimes you have to backstitch a top stitch, but I don't here. So, and it does take a little longer because obviously I'm tying it, but I think it's worth it. It's worth the extra minute that it takes to do it. Okay, there's one down. And come on, go through there. And I am tying them 3 times just to make sure they're good and sturdy here. And if this was thicker fabric, I might actually put some fray check or something on it too, because a thicker fabric would pull more. But I think with this cotton, we'll be fine like this. This is what I did for my original bag, and I've had that thing for years, and it's still holding up. Honestly, I kind of want to make myself a new one, not because my old one is needing to be replaced, but just because I'm kind of ready for a different pattern, a different fabric. So just trim these off. All right, there we go. And we're going to jump over to the iron. Okay, so I wanted to show you this part because this part can be tricky. If you are not used to sewing or what have you, this part can be kind of tricky, but you really, where we're gonna sew this up, you really just want to, you can kind of put your fingers in usually and pull gently and it'll line up just perfectly. This one, because it's a narrower seam allowance, I am gonna kind of lay it down and kind of eyeball it before I press it. But then we're just gonna press it closed. This way we can press the entire pocket too. And just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna grab a clip and just clip it right there where we pressed it closed. So same thing on the side, we're just gonna kind of tug it and pop it in there, but I always do double check and make sure that they're lined up correctly. Just kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. I am a perfectionist, so I try to make it perfect. But there we go. That should do it. All right. Oh, by the way, Mike, where I wrote on myself, it's gone. That'd be an extremely temporary tattoo. Okay. Flip back over here. And one thing, I've done it in the past on prior videos, but I'm going to clean up these threads. So I'm going to go to the back where they're tied off, and I'm just going to kind of just melt them down a little bit and tap them. It helps to secure the threads just a little bit more. It also keeps them from poking out. See, I don't know if you can see that, but this is actually just a smidge taller than the fabric, the thread is. So it could potentially poke out, but if I melt them, I'll never see it. So you cannot do this with cotton thread. Please do not try. Cotton catches on fire. It doesn't melt. And that's not helpful at all. So I'm getting my little, trying to keep my pattern numbers together. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the pocket and we're going to put it on the lining fabric. And sorry, not even my hands are in camera because I'm trying to find my tape. I use painter's tape for this. There's a lot of tapes that are made just for sewing for this purpose, but I just use painter's tape. Sometimes I'll use a double stick tape if I think I need it, but I think I'll be okay on this one. So we're just going to go ahead and put the pockets on the lining. That's all we're doing at this point. So if this was a print fabric that you were using on the lining, you'd want to make sure that it was heading the same direction, you know, in the correct direction. Excuse me. But I want to make sure it's even at least. So let's do this, measure it a little bit. Oh, and the reason we put a clip on here is to hold this together until we're at this part. But I am going to take it off before I really get going. But I think this looks, yeah, that looks about good. Let me make sure it's centered. A lot of sewists will say, mark your centers. And I do mark my centers a lot. But I also do it this way. Just kind of eyeballing it. It's 3.5, so it'd be there. I've got, yeah, that looks good. So I'm just gonna make sure it's good on the side. Yep, that looks straight. Oops, I just knocked it over. Yep, that's straight. So before I touch it again, I'm gonna tape it down. And I'm just taping it down so it doesn't move while I'm sewing it. And a lot of the tapes that they make specifically for this for sewing are better than painter's tape, because I don't like to sew through my painter's tape, but they do make paper tape for sewing. I'm doing this while sewing, which you can actually sew through. But you'll see as I'm sewing this on, I'm going to be pulling it off as I go. So let's see here. I guess that looks about good. Make sure it's even. Yeah, that looks good. So a healthy dose of little measurement, a lot of eyeballing. That actually is not quite good. Didn't eyeball it perfectly there. There we go. That's better. These are different measurements anyway from the pattern because I made it wider. I'm hoping that my phone fits with this way. Now, there is a pocket on the front where you can put your phone, and you can just do what I do now, and that's just put the phone in the bag. The bag's not very wide. Your phone's not going to go anywhere. And it's probably not going to get damaged, so that's what I do. I just plop it in the middle of the bag. But, you know, you could also, there's other things you could put in this pocket too, I would imagine. So now we're going to go back over to Bunny, and we're just, Bunny, what was that? Birdie, and we're going to, that's where my tape went. No, that is not where your tape went. You bought this for me specifically because it's 1/2 inch. Your tape is not that narrow. Thank you very much, Mr. Chaz River Artisans. So anyway, stencil tattoos for indecisive people. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm going to switch over to Birdie and get these sewn on. Now, this is one of those times where I said you can backstitch your top stitching, and I am absolutely going to do it on this because it's the top of a pocket. That pocket is going to get some pulling, and you really want to make sure it's secure at the tops. So I am going to backstitch here, but I'm still going to pull them back and tie them on the back because I still don't want the end of the thread poking out and looking weird. So we're going to backstitch first to make sure it's really secure, and then actually it's harder to pull it through on the starting thread. I may need to get a needle and pull it through, but we'll see how it goes. Come on. This is why the paper tape would be more helpful. This would be faster. Okay. I want to pull that down a little bit more. Yep. Go right there. All right. And this is the part where this is kind of the two birds, one stone situation, because you're closing up the pocket and you're sewing the pocket to the fabric at the same time here. Ooh, I didn't like that thickness. Come on, birdie, you got this. Okay. And just back up the other side. And I'm actually, since I've got two sides sewn already, I'm going to go ahead and take this piece off. And I'll just hold it flat with my hand. Okay. And again, we're going to backstitch really well here because it's going to get some use. But I'm still going to keep the thread long so that I can pull it through and tie it. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Where's the bottom? There it is. And this is definitely one of those spots where I said in the beginning where the thread isn't going to match all of it, but it's still going to pull it together because it's still, you know, this aqua kind of color, this teal color is really what I'm trying to pull into, especially the other one. This one's going to have some purpley to it too, some pinky purple to it too, but okay. Now that I think of it, I could have used the other color. I've got another color from Wizardry Stitchery that would look really good with this too. But we've already started, so we're going to stick with it. I'm going to do one more stitch. Not quite that long. There we go. Ooh. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, and I want to show you, just in general, where you end is really easy to do this because it pulls up. But where you start, the whole point is securing the thread, so it's not as easy to pull it up. So what I like to do is grab a needle, and I'm going to put it right here where I want that top thread to go. And we're just going to use the needle to pull the thread to the back. So that's what backstitching is for, if you were wondering. Backstitching is meant to secure it. And the reason that it pops out so well where you end is because this is your last stitch. There's nothing else. It's securing the other stitches you already did. Whereas this, your first stitch, is secured because you're continuing on from there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to Poke that into the fabric where I want it to go. Thread the little needle and just pull it on through. And now we can tie the threads on the back like I did for the other top stitch. And these I'm not going to bother melting with the lighter because they're not going to show anyway. So there's no way they're going to stick out because we're going to trim them. And by doing this, I'm keeping these, you know, the edges, the ends of the threads from looking weird on the front of the bag. But, oh, come on. I'm also, just makes it a little extra secure too. Because I do use my pocket quite a bit, even though I don't use it for my phone, I do use it quite a bit. And, you know, well, not the tape on it, but you can see it, you know, you're going to tug on that pocket quite a bit. So let's do this one. And if you've just popped in, if there's any chats for people who have been here, I will check the chat in a moment. Let's get this step finished up here. Okay. We don't need to trim these quite as short because, like I said, you're never gonna see them. I just don't want them too long. And there we go. All right. So I'm gonna switch back over to the table cam. Jack in the shop. Hey, how's it going? Front pocket makes a good treat holder. It is, but this is the inside pocket. This is the one, if I had my bag up here, I would show you. But it's intended to be a phone pocket. And I changed the size of it, so let's see if my phone actually fits. My phone's a little bigger because I have the what are these things called? Pop socket thing on the back. So mine's a little bit bigger. Hey! Oh, yeah, I probably should have put it lower. Ha! My phone's not quite going to fit. It fits sideways, so I'm going to write those measurements down. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Haha. But I will write those measurements down and make sure to use those next time because that was a good guess on my part. Let me get some water real quick. Okay, now we are going to make the poo bag dispenser. This is my favorite part of the bag. It makes it so we're going to set these aside for later. Just going to pop those over and we're going to we need pieces 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So Jack, how's it going? You having a good weekend? Get over here. There's my other pile. Fabric. Got 1. That's not what I need. 2 and 3. All right. Trying to keep them straight since there are 2 different bags here. All right. I'll put my lining under the other one. Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep everything straight. So, we need pieces 1, 2, and 3, and we need a zipper. Now, something I wanted to mention is I'm not using the correct size zipper because the correct size zipper that the pattern calls for, I don't have any that match so well. So some of them are not going to line up exactly perfectly because the zipper, this is a number 5 zipper and the pattern actually calls for number 3. So the zipper, what that means is this is 5 millimeters across the zipper teeth, and they make the tape wider as well. The number 3 zipper is 3 millimeters across on the teeth, and it's a little shorter. This is an 1.25 inches versus an inch. So I am gonna like what was I saying? I am going to kind of make up for that. Jack was laughing with the live. While Mike is making stuff, was fighting with an old cell phone. I don't even want to know. It was Mike is making stuff. Who knows why he was fighting with an old cell phone? I'm just going to go with, okay, that makes sense. Because it just sounds like something he would do. And I'm sorry I'm digging for my... There we go. Oh, I'm almost out of 1/8 inch double-sided tape on this one, so I need to dig in here. This one come with 2. Sorry, this is probably really loud. I'm having to dig in a plastic bag to get my new roll. I think this only came with 2 1/8 inch double-sided sticky tapes. I'm gonna need to order some more before too long. Because believe it or not, this giant roll right here is not gonna last long. All right. So here we go. We've got pieces 1, 2, and 3. That's what it says. And it's been a while, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna I've made a bunch of these, but not overly recently. So we've got 1 and 2 first. We're gonna get our pieces over there, and we're gonna put our zipper up. I'm just gonna, where are my scissors? Oh, I took them over there. I'm gonna make it a teeny bit longer, not too much, just a teeny bit. I'm gonna melt the ends so it doesn't unravel on me. The reason I'm doing this is because some people like to put zipper pulls on before they, that reminds me, I think I only pulled 2 zipper pulls. I need 4 zipper pulls, not 2. Let me grab a couple before I forget again. But a lot of people like to put zipper pulls on before they actually sew the zipper on. I am not one of those people. I like to put it on after. But you have to be careful when you put it on after, because obviously at some point you're going to close that zipper up with a seam, and you want to make sure that you put the zipper on. So zipper pull on. So we are going to put this, and this is going to be zipper side up. So what I'm going to do to account for this zipper tape being a little wider than the bag is actually supposed to be made with is I'm going to put it up just a little bit higher. So like instead of doing it edge to edge, I'm going to actually put it up a little bit higher. It should be okay with our zipper pulls because they're not super wide. Yeah, we should still be okay with that. Okay, so I'm actually going to flip this over to make sure. Wait, yeah, okay. I'm going to do it a little, just a teeny bit. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. Because when I go to actually do the top stitching, it's going to be a lot more challenging. I'm just going to do it edge to edge, and I'll just trim the pocket a little bit. It's only going to be like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, so it'll be fine. And the funny part is I had actually pulled all of the fabric, all of the zipper tape everything. And it dawned on me last night while I was prepping that I needed number 3 zippers. I was like, well, shoot, I really, really like this zipper tape and the straps that because I got these from Georgia Girl Stitches, the zipper and, the zipper tape and the webbing for the straps both came from Georgia Girl Stitches, and I bought them on purpose because they match exactly. They match so well. So I was like, well, I'm going to stick with number 5s and we'll just see how it goes. So that's what we need to do on that side. Then we're going to take the number 1 piece and we're going to put it on upside down, just like that, but along the edge. Use a little double-sided tape to keep it stuck. There we go. Oh, I think I may have reached, reached the end of that tape. Okay. I'm going to just make sure they're lined up at the sides here. Goodness. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Gracious. I'll get some water. Yes, Mike. Mike just came in. Okay. Am I supposed to be showing this?
Yeah, I was just showing it to you.
Oh, okay. It's cool. He made a thing that he was showing me. And apparently you'll have to wait and see it later. Okay. All right. So we're going to sew these on. Then we're going to flip them around and we're going to iron it down and do the top stitch. So we will have our front pocket piece made. And oh, it would help if I switch the camera. There we go. I'm switching to my zipper foot. So it will make it easier to sew the zipper on. And here we go. Oops. This is actually going to be, excuse me, the front pocket where the poo bag holders go. So we're gonna make a hole in it, stuff in a little bit here. Trim that thread. All right, switch back over to the iron and just, oh, the iron's still awake. That's cool. Hey, Lions, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. I'm making one of my favorite bags to make. It's a dog walking bag. I'm just gonna, oops, damn it. Just gonna press that down before I top stitch it. And this is going to be the front pocket where the poo bag holders go. Oops, there we go. I think that's good. Yep. You don't have to press this before you top stitch it. I just like to because I know it's not going to have any bumps or anything in it when I go to stitch it. There we go. All right. Back to the machine. Oh, thanks, Lions. Yeah, I've got cool. Yeah, the fabric is all of the print and hand-dyed fabric is from Thunderbird Handcrafted. I don't think she has it anymore, but she has really awesome print and hand-dyed fabric. So, because you're doing it properly. Yes, I'm trying to do it properly. I am trying. Now this top stitch I mentioned earlier, sometimes you want to back stitch when you top stitch, sometimes you don't. You just want to pull it through. But this one I'm going to back stitch because it's going to be in the seam anyway. So let me pull this around. I don't like how that's going to do. Do I want to use... Yeah, I'm going to put my regular foot back on so that it can just ride the zipper and the zipper teeth. I'll keep it, make it sure it's a nice straight stitch. And since I don't have my zipper on yet, my zipper pull on yet, it'll be fine. This is actually why I don't put the zipper pull on until after this is done. Okay. So I'm just going to let the edge of my foot ride the zipper teeth, and that will make sure that my stitch is nice and straight. Whoa, what just happened there? There we go. Okay, there we go. That's a little inside the seam allowance, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, there's one. Just trim these threads real quick, and then we'll do the other one. Okay. Let's see if I remember correctly. The next part's the fun part where we make a hole in the fabric. It's seemingly random, but it is not. Oh yeah, Mike has been working on getting some stuff done so that he can go live again. It's been too long. His lives are fun. Okay, so I've got my 2 pieces here, and the next part is where we are going to, do we want to punch it yet, or do we want to wait? Let's see. No, I think I'm going to put the trim on first. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the trim on first and get the zipper finished before I put that other piece on. Or the zipper pull, I mean. So, here's some of that hand-dyed fabric that's so pretty. And we're going to need our other lining pieces here. So for this piece, we are going to set the lining piece like so. And we're going to get that lined up again. Make sure I've got the right side up. I do. Find the beginning of my tape since my tape crapped out on me. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. It was fun. Okay. All right, then we got the first layer. Yeah, come on. Oh, this tape is, come on, don't be a pain. There we go. All right. So to make sure this is all lined up on the side and at the top. And like I said, I'm going to have to trim this pocket down a little bit because the zipper I'm using is not the correct size zipper. But since I'm going into that knowing it, I won't panic when I get to the part where I have to make sure they're all the same length. So, come on. Why are you staying to the paper? I need you on the fabric, not the paper. There we go. Oh, nope. It faked me out. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing, just lining them up on the side and along the top. Oops. Hold that down. There we go. All right, there's that. And then we're going to put the top. This is going to be the piece on top, that little accent piece at the top of the pocket. So, yeah, just double checking to make sure I'm doing this right, because this part is a little bit tricky. Yep, okay, we're good. And this is going to go with the hand-dyed fabric is going to go right side down on this. So it makes a pretty accent piece. Again, lining up the edges. Yep, that looks good. Sorry. Slide it over a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this, except when I pull it up to top stitch it, I'm only pulling this piece up to top stitch it. I'm not pulling up. Wait, there's a piece of it. There we go. Glad I saw that. I'm not going to be pulling this up too, because the pocket, you want to zip it, and this is going to be the inside of the pocket. So that's why I said that part is a little tricky. I had to double check that I was doing it right. So we're going to go sew that. Oh yeah, definitely wishing we're still on the ship. That was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. Sorry, before I do this, I need to get in a sip of water because I don't want to be coughing into the microphone the whole time. One of these days, the allergens will chill out a little bit, I hope. My allergies have been really, really bad this year. Go again. All right. So wow, that was crazy. What were you doing there, birdie? Slow your roll, girlfriend. That is not okay. All right. Now you're good. Now you're good. All right. It'd help if I pull the needle up. There we go. Oh, I think that's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be so pretty, because I don't know if you can see them, but there's purples and pinks in this snow globe. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Okay. All right, I need to start deciding, start thinking about where I want to put these tags, these bag tags. So one of them is our logo tag, which obviously is going somewhere on the bag, but those other two cute tags, I need to think about where I want to put those, because we're going to need to be putting them on before too long, so that it doesn't, so I don't end up having to stick them on really hard. Let's go. Oh yeah, the ship was massive. And the funny thing is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Disney Wish is one of the smaller ships. It's crazy. Yeah, super smooth. It was awesome. Look at these. Yes, he was amazing. The presentation of the food there is so good, and I'm not switching to iron real quick because it's just going to take me a second. But yeah, the presentation of the food, it's just also yummy. And the fact that if you're at a restaurant and you like something you got from a different restaurant and you don't see anything on the menu you like at the restaurant you're at, you can order something from the other restaurant. It's fantastic. It was really yummy. Okay. So just All right, so now I'm going to top stitch this, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm not pulling this up because it's actually the back of the inside of the pocket. So I'm going to switch this back out so I can do my other foot. And increase my stitch length a little bit. All right, oops, this way. Okay. Why does that look so much farther, so much closer? Oh, because that, okay. It looked like it was getting much closer to the edge of the fabric on this side, but it's because this one kind of went up a little bit. It's fine. It'll be in the seam allowance. So I'm not worried about it. It looked odd at first. Not too far. All right. Okay. There's one. Oh, these are going to look so good. Right about now is when I'm starting to visualize, or what I visualized in the beginning of this process is really starting to show, because you're finally getting to see the two different, like the the hand dyed and the print together. Oh, I'm so excited about these bags. This thread is really going to pop on this pink because it is not pink. It is green. It is like a teal green. And it's a variegated thread, so some of it's light color, some of it's dark. It's going to look, oh, it looks so cool. Sorry, give me 1 second and I will show you what it looks like. And it's so neat. Okay, so here we go. We've got one front pocket, and we've got another front pocket, but look at that, the thread on the, oh, I love that. I love how that turned out. It's very exciting. Okay. Yeah, it did feel that way. And it was crazy. I just noticed a string on my shirt. I'm gonna cut that off. All right. Yeah, it was insane. We walked 5 to 6 miles a day on the cruise. It was crazy. Yeah, and I found out later that, well, I found out after the first time I did this particular cruise. I've only been on a cruise twice in my entire life, and both of them were on the Disney Wish. So, but yeah, I found out that they do the restaurant thing because it all comes from the same kitchen. Like, because that's really smart. It's really smart to do it all from the same kitchen. So that's why it's good. All right. They also let you order as much as you want. I mean, as long as you're at one of the 3 rotational restaurants. There are other restaurants that cost extra, but the ones that are included, you rotate through those 3, which makes it really neat. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put the, I'm going to do the holes first. I'm going to put the holes in for the poo bag holders. Now, this is where it's going to get a little, is that not lined up? I didn't line that up perfectly. It'll be okay. This is a different thing that I am doing. Before, the grommets that I used are 12 millimeter. And I like it, but sometimes when I'm pushing my poo bags through the 12 millimeter grommet, it's a little tight. It's a little snug. And I've still got the ones on the site, on the website right now for sale. Those are all 12 millimeter grommets. and I am not going to replace them. I can't without damaging the bag. So what we are going to do is, oh, okay. Yep. All right. So, but I'm trying 17mm grommets this time. This is new. I think this will be kind of cool. Now, this is not in the pattern. That's not entirely true. This is in the pattern. She just does it differently than I do. I like to use my rivet press because my rivet press is, aside from my machines, my rivet press is the best investment I've made. It's awesome. And it does grommets too because I have the dies for them. So first I need to get it to make the hole. This is Rosie. Get it? Rosie the Riveter, because I think I'm hilarious. Oh yeah, thanks, Lions. I love making these bags. And I love when you see them starting to come together. It's just awesome. All right, I think I'm gonna put these at about here. Oh, that's hard for you to see. Hold on. Move that over. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put this hole. And I think I went over just a little bit more because of the seam allowance. This is going to be a big hole. It's going to be bigger than normal. So I'll put that there. It'll be like that. I think I need it to go up a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll work. That should work out really well. So I'm going to put a dot at the corner there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, see where it lands. If I put it in the same place as the other one, it's actually going to cut into that snow globe, which I didn't really want to do. It probably wouldn't hurt if I pulled it in just a touch. Yeah, I think I'll put it there. Yeah. Put my mark right there by this snow globe. All right. This is the part that I have to be real careful with because I am not punching all the way through all three materials. Oh, shoot. Before I do anything, I want to make sure these are even. I almost goofed because I did all that talking about how this zipper is not the zipper she says to use in the pattern, and I'm going to have to trim the pocket down, and I almost did the thing without trimming the pocket down. That would have been upsetting. Okay. That's what I get for, I just need to order a bunch of new number 3 zippers. And unfortunately, Georgia Girl Stitches does not carry number 3 zippers, which is why I was using a number 5 that I had gotten from her, but I think I'm gonna need to buy some from Wawak and just match up my stuff as best I can. All right, now they're the same. They're going to be good. Now they're going to be good. All right. Is that too far to the bottom? No, I think that'll still work. So I'm just reinforce that little dot. See, this will be too close to the bottom. I think it'll still be okay. Yeah, I think that'll still be okay. All right, so this is where I have to be really careful now that I've trimmed it. Because when you open the pocket, when you open the zippered pocket, this is the pocket piece and this is where the hole's going to be. You don't want the hole here. So I'm going to clip this to keep these two front pieces together. And then I'm going to fold the other piece back out of the way, but I want to make sure these are clipped together really well first. So go. Sure they're not going to move on me. Okay, so now we can pull this piece back out of the way, and we will punch that hole. Where's my... Okay. All right, I'm just going to put, there's a little spring in the center of this, and I'm just putting it on the circle that I made. I think I got it. Not quite. I have to get a better angle on it. I should have known that. But this is why I put the clips on it to keep the fabric straight. To be good there, off a little bit there. I heard it pop, so I think it got through that time. Oh, almost. Close enough. I can trim that out. That's not a big deal. We're going to do the same thing here. Get that little spring in the center on the little dot. And went through the... Yeah, I'm going to have to trim that one too. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I'm right-handed, so it's easier to turn it around to get it in the top piece here. Ugh. Feels sticky. I'm gonna have to wash my hands after I do this. It's a brand new, I haven't used this die set yet, so that's why it's a little sticky, but should have wiped it down. That's all right. Okay, so now I've got to just trim this a little bit, and it got most of it, just some of the little spots around the circle. I just need to snip real quick. There we go. Oops, almost. There we go. That one's ready to go. And this one did the same thing. I got most of it, but some of it was just not quite all the way through. And since this is the first time that I've used this die set, maybe I just wasn't putting enough pressure on it. I don't know. But we're going to put the top piece is the one that has the big ring, and we're going to put that face down. And then we're going to put this guy face, I forget which way it goes. If it goes this way, it's been a while since I did one of these. Oh, it goes that way. That's right. Because it's going to roll over. All right, here we go. Can you see this? Sort of. I'll turn it a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to... Oh, I just felt it go a little bit more. Okay. Here we go. So we've got a grommet hole for the poo bags to come out of. And I'm not checking where it is right now because there's nothing I can do about it, but I am going to check it in a minute to make sure that none of the fabric moved on me. I'll put that in there. Lay this on top. Man, yeah, I think it's because of the size difference. This is way, way bigger than the, or not way bigger, but it feels a lot different than the 12 millimeter. And there's a piece in this that did not roll all the way. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to move this over to the side. So I'm not going to need that again for a bit. Oops. Get them out of my way for now. Okay. So now we get to make sure. Ha! It did not move. Yay. Okay. The fabric didn't move. It's all nice and flat. Oh, that just makes me so happy. Let me check the riveting stuff. Yes. Yes. I think I'm hilarious, so I named my riveter Rosie. Okay. So next. I need to put on my zipper pulls. I think, because I think the next section, yep, the next section I'm gonna putting on the zipper pulls. So here we go. Just gonna start over here. The right is on the top, so I'm just gonna make sure that it's on the top after I get the zipper pull on. It should be good. Ooh, come on. Nope, too far. Just making sure that the zipper teeth line up just the way that they were before, because I really want to make sure this is still perfectly straight. And this one, the left side is on top. I need to trim this off. It's got some little stray, it's starting to unravel on me a little bit, which is normal for cotton fabric. But all right, on the left is the top one on this one. So again, I'm just going to make sure I've got the tooth on the top is left. Yep. All right. And now I'm just going to like sew over the edges so they don't come undone, because that would be really bad. And I'm going to do that like within the seam allowance, so it's going to be really close to the edge of the things. So we're just gonna to the edge, the raw edge. That's what I'm trying to say. Good gravy. But I am gonna put a clip on either side. And this time I do want to catch all three, because the entire thing is the pocket. And then once we get that done, we will trim the zipper down and re-melt the zipper ends. I don't need these pieces on anymore. Okay. Oops. Birdie cam. Come here. Thread. There you go. All right. So I'm just going to sew over the edges so the zipper pull doesn't come off. Like I mentioned, it's just a quick, it's inside the seam, so it's not going to be seen at all. Holding it. All right. That one's good. And get the other one done. Oops. Pull that snug. There we go. All right. The bobbin thread was trying to, or the top thread rather, was trying to get caught a little bit. But I got it. And I know that it probably doesn't look it, but I'm trying to be really careful going through, making sure where the needle goes through the zipper teeth, it's not having a problem. because these are nylon coil zippers and they can be sewn through, but they can still give the needle a little fit every once in a while. So just my first pass through it, I make sure it's not gonna be naughty. All right, there we go. And then back stitching is just slow. There's no pedal speed for that. All right. Uh-oh. My top thread just broke. That's interesting. Well, let's just fix that real quick. Why did you break? Where are you stuck? Seriously? All right, let's rethread it. Luckily it broke right when I was done with the stitch anyway, but that was bizarre. All right, there we go. And now I just need to trim the thing off. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Lions. I think very similarly when you are carving wood, because I don't know how to do that, and it looks really hard. So there's that. I did switch the camera right. Yep. Okay. So I'm just trimming the zips down to match the side of the edge of the fabric. And I'm going to remelt them so they don't fall apart, but I'm going to be extremely careful because while this will kind of catch on fire, but it mostly will just melt. The cotton will catch on fire. So I have to be real careful not to let that happen. So I'm going to try to go over it quick. Yep, that looks good. And actually I got some of the waterproof canvas in that snip. Click there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yep, I think that's good. Yep, it started to catch on fire. Haha. And this piece. There we go. Okay. All good. So, oh, these are, just look at those. Just look at those. They're so pretty. They're gonna be so pretty. And if you don't have poo bags in the thing, then you've got this cute little teal fabric poking out, or peeking out, I should say. Okay, and we are still all the same length because we did that already. And now we are going to put the back, piece 6. Yes, here's 6. We're going to put the back of that pocket on, because while this is the zip pocket where you'll be able to go in there and get your little poo bags or whatever, this is actually going to be a slip pocket on the front. So we need to, and you will notice it is not interfaced at all. That is on purpose. So, but we are going to pop it on here and just sew it together across the top. And let me get some clips here. And we really are like so close to being done with the exterior of the bag. We've just got to do this, put it on the front panel, and then we're basically done with the exterior of the bag until we sew everything together. So it is coming along very nicely. Okay, how do I want to do this? I think I'll do it like this. I need to iron this piece. This piece is weird. I didn't iron this one as well. I'll be right back. Oh, that's better. Okay. kind of want to keep that together. So the nice thing about hand-dyed fabric is you can pick which is the front and which is the back most of the time, at least with this particular type of cotton woven. If it's corduroy or something, obviously you're going to have a front and a back, but with this particular one, it is sewist choice, basically. Okay. All right, so we're going to sew these together. We're going to pop them out, and we're going to top stitch. Whoops. Where am I? Make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself here. Yep. We're going to sew these together, and then we're going to flip them over, press them, and then top stitch. In just a moment, I have a million pop-ups coming up for some reason. Okay. Yeah, Lions, the machine that I'm using now, Birdie, she's better on like thinner materials, but Jester she just sounds like she's beautiful. This is Jester. I know I've used this one before on a lot of stuff on lives, and this is Birdie. Birdie just does better with the thinner fabrics. But I may be switching to Jester toward the end of this because there's a lot of layers at the very end. So we shall see. Actually, I'm going to do it from this side. Put that back up. It'll just be easier to make sure it's all flat. Okay. Come on, line up there. There you go. I know it seems weird using green thread or teal thread on pink, but I'm telling you, it's going to pull it all together and it's going to look so cute. Okay. And here, because I mean, even here, you've got some greens that are definitely not teal. This is like more of a, almost like a mint or moss green, kind of a mossy green. But it works. And I think it works because of the prints, pull all those colors in and you can just pick which colors you want to pull out of them, and I love it. Okay. Oops, that went too far. That's all right. Oh, come on, lay down. They went too far, so I tried to pull the fabric on the right up. There we go. All good. All better. Oh, now it's being a pain. Get my little... There we go. Ha! Okay. Let's do this last little piece. All right. Oops. There we go. All right. So let's go over to. Oh yeah, I hope they do. I really do. We are working on, yeah. Part of the reason that more is not on our website is because I am terrible at taking pictures. And so Mike helps, obviously, but I'm a little bit of a control freak. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not gonna throw Mike under the bus because it's me. I'm learning to get better with photography, and obviously you have to take pictures to put it on the website. But we are also going to be signing up for some craft fairs this season, this fall season. So I'm hoping I can get some more stuff done like this for that. That's one of the reasons I'm doing it, you know, a winter print so early, just to have it ready. So I'm gonna just clip those there. All right, make sure this is nice and straight. All right, everything's lined up. Cool, cool. We can top stitch this, and then we will be putting it on the front panel. And I will have a question when we get to that part, because Mike made a choice, because I asked him, I couldn't decide. And I want to see if Mike still feels the way he felt the other day when I asked him. And see if we all agree. And we won't know until this is done, because I've got to, it's basically which should be the front, which should be the back, which will make more sense in a few minutes. But yeah, so we'll decide on that very soon. Oops, that's not very straight. Come on. Okay. Oops. There we go. I went farther than I meant it to. That's all right. Ooh. She just got all excited there. Yeah. Okay. Here's the decision portion of what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, Mike's a little behind. That's true. But it's okay. We've had some technical difficulties in the shop downstairs. It'll all come together. Okay, so we have two options. And I think I'm going to go with Mike's option, Mike's choice. I just want to see if this is still what we're thinking here. So we can use, let me get these clips off because we don't need them anymore. Okay, so this, like I said, this is the, where's the camera? This is the slip pocket. You'll be able to, or the zip pocket. You can go in and put your little poo bags in there and they'll stick out through this hole here. And then this, the reason we top stitch the top of it, this is going to be a slip pocket. So it's going to go like this on the bag. But one of these is the front and one of these is the back. And Mike thought that do it like this, and then the back would be consistent with the front pocket, and that would look really good. And I think I still agree. I think I also hear him in the kitchen. What do you guys think? Lions, are you still on? I think it should just be like this, with that being the back, or like this, with that being the back. I don't know. I'm gonna get a sip of water here. I thought I made myself some more water. But I don't see it up here. I know that sounds crazy, making myself water, but it's because I use the powder things. I'm I'm gonna use this opportunity. Here, I'm gonna pull these as close as I can get here. This is option 1. It's the tie-dye as the front and the big pattern. So you can see the whole pattern is the back. And then option 2 is some of the pattern is covered, but you have the nice accent piece, and then you have the tie-dye as the back. Or the hand-dyed, I should say. I don't know. I'm going to take a very short break and then come back and we'll decide. You can throw it in the chat if you have an option, if you have a preference. I'm going to put my microphone here. I'll be right back. Okay. I am back. Haha, you're so funny. Lions, that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, so Mike still likes this way. And I can't decide. So I think I'm going to go with what Lion says and do one of each. I really, really, really like the big giant bear and the wolf on this one. So I think I'm going to do this one this way and this one this way. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I really love this. Look at that. It's so pretty with the, with the bear standing up and then the little wolf over here. I love that. So I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, cool. And then that, oh wait. Oh, that I cut that so that it's the same globe at the top that it is at the bottom. Huh. That's going to look weird. Boo. How did I even do that? I didn't even do that on purpose. Okay, I'm going to go with what Mike said because I think that's going to look weird. And I don't want to cover up the bear and the wolf. So, Mike, you win. But I don't want to cover up the bear and the wolf. And I'm not, are you mean trade them like that? Because no, that would be too much. All right, so that's what we're doing. Those are the fronts. Okay, so we are just going to stick these on. Actually, I'm going to trim the bottoms because the, again, this was an issue because of the different sized zipper. But I need to trim this down just a smidge here. And if I had used a number 3 zipper instead of a number 5, then this would be perfect. Because this right here is, it's a 1/4 inch. That's exactly the difference between a number 3 and a number 5. And I could not push hard enough because the grommet was in the way. So let me just get that where the rotary blade did not get. There. I think I'm just going to use the scissors on the other one. Because with the grommet there, the rotary blade just doesn't want to, or the, not the rotary blade, the, this thing doesn't want to lay flat. There we go. Oop, there. All right. Cool, cool. So now we can line these up, and now I can decide what I want to be the top and the bottom. Oh, I love that purple. I like some of these too. I really love that purple. I'm going to make that the top. Okay. Got that over just a bit. There we go. Where's that? Oh, that's just, this is going to need to be trimmed down. It'll be fine. Okay, and this one, oh, I like this. I like that blue. That's pretty. I really like this with the other colors. Oh. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay. Slide up a little bit. This is where it starts getting really thick with all these layers. I'm going to see if Birdie can, I'm going to see if Birdie can do this. Okay. So I don't have to keep switching back and forth, but, yep. Let's see if she can. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the D-rings on now, so I don't have to do it in 2 steps. So these were the D-rings. Oh, before I go a second farther, because this could be where things get closed off and I can't redo it. All right, we got the tags. So this one is getting these 2 tags, and this one is getting these 2 tags. So let me grab the back of this one. I was thinking 1 tab on the front, 1 tag on the front, 1 on the back. I love this wild. I think that's so cute. I think I'll put that there, and then I'll put our tag down here. Yeah, that's what I'll do on that one. And then on this one, where's the, oh, I thought I grabbed both bags. I did not. And this one, oh, that love is a 4-legged word right there. It would be really cute because of the baby polar bears. And then we can put ours right up there in the white part so it pops. Yeah, I think that looks good. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. I love the likes. Love the likes and the subscribes and all that. It's very helpful. So I'm just going to measure these out and make sure they are flat, and I'm going to go ahead and sew them all on because otherwise I will forget and get really upset. I have actually had to take one of these bags apart before because I forgot to put the our logo tag on. I forgot to put it on there. I was so upset. Okay, so this is actually going to be, if that's halfway, I'm going to put it kind of centered. No, I want it down a little bit lower. Yeah, there, about there. That should be good. Yep. All right, that one's set. And this one, I'm going to take the clips off. In fact, all of them, because this one I'm going to have to pull up this one piece to sew it on. I'm going to put it right about there. I just want to make sure it is like level. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I've got some super sticky tape on the back. So they'll stay where it's at. And then this one I'm going to do similar. Just want to make sure that it's straight. I think I'm going to put it about here. Yeah, that looks pretty straight to me. I don't know if you can see this. I love this tag so much. With all the snowflakes and stars and stuff in the colored parts, she actually did that in the tag. This was a collaboration between Thunderbird Handcrafted with the fabric and the Heartwood and Hide with the tag. It turned out so good. And then this one, this Love is a 4-legged word, that's just one that I've had for a while. So I bought a pack of them when ages ago. I think maybe down a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to cover up his tail, but I also don't want to get it too close to the bottom. Well, maybe a little closer to the bottom would be okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So I am going to change the top threads for these two because I think the green would look really weird. But yeah, then I'll change it back. Staying away from the crowd. Yeah, definitely staying away from the crowds. Oh, no. No, honey, I'm sorry, but if you had driven to DC, you'd have been on your own. Stars of fireworks tonight as the city says. Oh, cool. Cool. We have to, our dog, one of them in particular, is, does not like loud noises at all. And so last night was, it was a challenge. Let's just say it was a challenge. Poor little guy was not happy. I need to go grab a different thread because I thought I had purple over here, but I don't. This one will work. This one should work, I think. Yeah, that'll work. But yeah, one of our dogs in particular is really terrified of loud noises. And he'd feel safe in one spot, and then all of a sudden he'd hear another boom and he'd go running to another spot, and it was so sad. We ended up having to give him some trazodone to calm him down a little bit, and that helped. I just feel so sorry for the little dude. And ours, like, we can hear one fireworks show in particular, like for a neighborhood that's near ours, but the ones that we hear, they're the ones that people are doing, like, you know, illegal fireworks and whatnot. So, and they're in the neighborhood. So it's a little scary. Not just because of the noise, but like, please don't catch our house on fire, kind of scary. But it all worked out. It was all fine. Okay, where's the bottom thread? There we go. I'm not changing this. Why my words are hard today for some reason. I'm not changing the bottom thread because I am, it shouldn't show, so I'm not worried about it. Let's do one more. It's gonna be really close, but that'll be all right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this front thread through before I get back around to it, because it just makes life a little bit easier. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it over just a half a stitch more. Just be a little bit more even. There we go. That's much better. At this point, I'm just like lining up that last stitch so it looks like it's a continuous stitch. And then we'll flip this around and tie it off. Just going to pull that other front thread through. I'm just tying all 4 threads together because it doesn't really matter. You're not going to see them. You just want to secure them. That's all. Well, be hopeful if they didn't get all mixed up. There we go. All right, that's good and secure. Trim those off, and I'm going to change the top thread. I really should have pulled that through properly, but that's okay. You're supposed to snip it at the top and pull it through the needle just to so it doesn't get thread fuzzies in there, which I usually do, so I think it'll be all right. Oops. Come on, get in there. Now this one's going to be a little trickier because I want it to be just on this piece in between the whole front pockets, so you don't see it at all. So I probably should have decided this before I put that on there, but that'll be all right. Make sure I don't have any. Nope, it's gone. It's folded out of the way. One more. Yep, okay. I'm going to make sure it is folded all the way out of the way because it's really close under there. Okay. I missed it. Excellent. All right, and I'm going to pull this front thread back to the back again before I get around to it. Make sure everything's still out of the way. It is. Do one more. Oh my, that doesn't happen often. I lined that up perfectly. Ha! That does not happen often at all. All right. Yay. Okay, just doing the same thing on this one, tying all 4 threads together just to secure them. And this cute little tag. And then I will check the chats, rethread my top thread, and keep going. And this is what I was talking about. I was really afraid that I was going to catch some of this in this stitch on the back, but I didn't. Thank goodness. So put these over to the side. Oh, Dan, you're probably already back, gone, but thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Oh, cool. All right. So now I'm going to put the thread that I was using earlier back in because that should be the only time that I have to change out thread on this project. So I'm just going to find where it fell. There it is. Oh gosh, it pulled the whole, oh darn. All right. So these big threads, these big threads, these big spools, we use these little sleeves on them and it popped off. I think I might have to get a longer one just so it goes up underneath it better. There we go. That just keeps the thread from getting all pulled off and weird. That should work though. Okay. Let's see if I can get these other two tags on there as nicely as I did that last one. That was really good. All right. Nope. There, we'll do it. Yeah, that looks good. One more. Yeah. Okay. Do that one more. That's really close to the edge, but that should be fine. Gosh, that's. I'm gonna do just another half a stitch or so, because that is not lined up as well as the other one that I did. It's still fine. I just need to move the needle a little bit. Which I probably need to do on this one too. Yep. Oh no, that's too far. I think that should do it, I hope. There we go. Okay. One more tag and then we can get back to the construction of the bag, which is, in my opinion, the best part. Most of the time I don't know, pardon me, I don't know which, oh, that turned out really cute with the variegated thread. So it's lighter around some spots and darker. I like that. It's a lot of times I have no idea where I'm going to put the tag until I see the pattern and where the fabric is and all that. Fold this back again like I did the other one. Yeah, that'll do it. More. Okay. Make sure this is still out of the way. It is. It's very close, but it's out of the way. can go one more. Yeah, it's not lined up quite well, but that'll be all right. Oh, and this is why I usually pull this corner thread back before I get to that, because it's a little harder when it's so close to the foot. All right, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna actually slide it over just a teeny bit. Okay, there we go. All right. Had to finagle it a little bit right at that last corner, but that's all right. I think it'll still look really good. Nobody will notice it but me, I hope. That little teeny stitch at the end, though, makes this a little harder to do. There we go. Okay. Okay, and again, we did not catch that lining in the stitching, so that's really great, and it turned out really, oh, you can't see that, good gravy. That turned out really cute. I'll show you on the other one, because this is getting dark over here for some reason. Or maybe it has been dark and I just hadn't noticed it. Here we go. All right, so here are all the tags put on. We've got the Ties River Artisans tag. Turned out cute. I love this wild tag. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. And then our other Ties River tag. And love is a four-legged word, which I love it with them sitting there. Oh, that's just so cute. Okay, so now we're back to where we were when I remembered, thank goodness, I remembered the tags. So we're going to put the backs over here, out of the way. And, oh, and we're going to get these clipped back together and we're going to put the D-ring connectors on there as well. So I can just tack it all down at the same time. I'm going to baste this all on so that the next steps are a little bit easier to do. Come on. Not catching the bottom piece. There you go. Okay. Get it all? Yep, I caught it. Okay, good. And do the same thing over here. And this one is going to be just a nice long basting stitch. I'm actually going to increase the stitch length a lot because I'm going to end up later on in the process, I actually have to pull it out. So I'm going to make this a really nice long basting stitch, as long as my machine will let me do, which I think is 6 millimeters maybe. I'll make this one a little bit shorter because these I don't think have to come back out, but let's see what I want this on the front. I'm going to do this. Make sure they're even. There we go. And we're just going to line up. I want this to be on the front, so I'm going to put it face down. And you know what? I'm going to cheat and put a little bit of tape on it. It'll make it easier. As soon as I find the end of my tape. There we go. And I want, yep, that on the other front. And then where are my other two? And on my other bag, I want this on the front. And I think that on the front. So I'm just getting all the tape put on first, so it's done. Okay. And this I'm just measuring to make sure. I'm just making sure it's even. I don't want to eyeball it and be wrong. So do that. Because if I eyeballed it and I was wrong, it would look really weird in the end. Ask me how I know. Okay, there's those two. And I am going to put clips on them just to be extra safe. We'll do these two the same way. Just measuring to make sure they are even. Oh, this tape is doing it again. There it goes. Okay. That's about right. Okay. They're all even. I'm just going to go to the machine and baste them again with the biggest stitch I can find, or that my machine will do, so that it does not, I can easily take it out later. But I'm still going to do it for the tabs. I just want to, I can't remember if I have to take out the tabs or not later, because it's, like I said, it's been a little bit. All right. So here we go. I did switch the camera. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. So let's see what my biggest length is that I can do on my machine. It is 5 millimeters. That is as big as I can do. And if you remember what I said earlier about the zippers, that's about that wide. Well, not about that wide. It is that wide. Zipper teeth are 5 millimeters on a number 5 zipper. So now it's going to be a little different because it's coming through fabric, but it's still going to be a nice long stitch that should be easier to take out later. I do want to back. Oh, it really doesn't like adding it to this. It gave me trouble with those earlier. Okay. If you've been following along since the very beginning, you might remember that that when I did these D-ring connectors in the beginning, Birdie really did not like all those layers. Okay. I think, oh, maybe not quite. Yep, we're still good there. Get that D-ring out of the way. There we go. Okay. That's one. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side, or on the other bag, rather. Oops. Just want to get the D-ring out of the way. Do not sew over hardware. Just trust me. Just don't. It will not turn out well. Best case scenario, you break a needle. Oh, it's skipping. It really doesn't like this one. There we go. Okay. I know this might seem like a little tedious, but you really, really want to baste it down at this stage, because you're installing the pocket onto the front of the bag, but you really just want to make sure that pocket's not going to move on you when you're constructing the rest of the bag. So sometimes there are things that we just don't really think are worth it, but they are. And I have tried to do this bag before without this step, and because later you have to remove these stitches. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to do it without, you know, I'm just going to skip that step and I'll keep going. And it was not a smart thing to do. Go. We have the front of the bag is complete. Technically, the back of the bag is complete too, because all we had to do was put a tag on it. However, we do. Oh, my tablet fell asleep. Okay. The next part is the zipper, because obviously this is the zipper for the front of the bag, so you can get into your poo bag holder area, but we gotta have a zipper at the top of the bag as well. The pattern has you take the zipper all the way to the sides. I do not do that. I use zipper tabs, which I just realized I did not cut out yet. So I think I'm going to use the dyed fabric for the zipper tabs. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I just need, and these zipper tabs are going to be a little bit more. I'm going to use this side. The zipper tabs are going to be, how do I want to do this? Okay, I have been drinking entirely too much water, so I'm going to take another very quick break. I'm going to leave a note, though, on the camera because I don't think anyone is on right now. Nope, just Mike. So, skip no steps. We will. You want all the steps? Yeah, well, you're getting them, babe. Well, not really like all the steps because I'm not telling you super secret stuff. You got to buy the pattern for that. I just need a piece of paper. Why is it so hard to find a piece of paper in this room? Found a piece of paper. Because since it's just me and Mike right now, I don't want someone to come in and think something is wrong. So, be right back. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I'm doing it because I'm feeling a little silly. So there you go. We'll be right back. All right. Okay. Let me get the microphone back on. Yes, you're hilarious, Mike. 5. Not gonna be back in 5 years. I'm back now. That was actually kind of handy. I'm going to keep that over there. Okay. So I need okay, I'm going to explain this real quick. I think that some people are better at this next step in the pattern than I am. And that's we're installing the zipper, but they say to install the zipper all the way across. Mine always pucker when I get to the edge and I'm sewing the bag together. This part kind of wants to go in and it puckers and it just doesn't look good. So I do it the way that Okla Roots does it. They actually have, by the way, obviously this is not a tutorial. If you would like a full tutorial on this pattern, Okla Roots has a fantastic one. So I am going to make and do this like this so I can just, oops, let me turn this fabric around. There we go. That'll make it easier to cut. Well, no, it won't. It's this way. This way makes it easier to cut. Good gravy. All right. So I need two 2x2 squares. So I'm just going to cut one that's 4. I'm actually going to cut it a little bit, just a smidge longer than 4, so I can cut this selvage piece off. And there we go. And then I'm going to do, well, I'll finish this one first. All right. So then I'm going to take that, cut it down to 2x2. I do not want this interfaced. It will be way too thick if I interface it. So I'm not going to do that. I am going to wake up my iron though, because I'm going to need that in a minute. There we go. Again, this is not per the pattern. If you want to see how they do it in the pattern, feel free to buy it. In fact, please do. Because Sewn Ideas, I actually put the web, wait, what did you say, Mike? That's why you married me, or brain damage could also be why. Haha, you're funny. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's why I put the, I like this corner. This is pretty. That's why I put God, words are hard today. Good gravy. Sewn Ideas website. I put it in the description for this video so that if you are interested in purchasing this pattern or any pattern, they have a lot of really, really great patterns. I have a few of them. They're awesome patterns. So that is in the description. It is just www.sewnideas.com, but it is in the description as well, as is the website for Thunderbird Handcrafted, where you can buy amazing hand-dyed fabric and prints and other goodies. And Endo Love Creation, where I got the water-resistant canvas. She's got some really nice stuff too, and fabrics and whatnot. And Georgia Girl Stitches and Heartwood and Hide I also put in the description. So, but if you don't want to go through all of the, let me switch to the iron cam. If you don't want to go through making something, even if you go to Sewn Ideas website, and you say, oh wow, I love that bag, but I don't want to make it. Guess what? We do custom orders. So if you find a pattern you like, if I have it, I can do a custom. If I don't, we can talk about it. I'm not going to rule it out, but, you know, I've got to see about my time and, you know, materials that have to price stuff out and whatnot. But just so you know, that is an option. I will also do customs of like these dog walking bags or pretty much anything you find on the website. I'm working on a custom section of the website. Just haven't gotten it done yet. Which side do I want on this one? Let's see, this would be, I like that. That would be pretty. I want to get the custom section done so you can see like some of the fabrics that I have and stuff. Maybe, oh, that's what I could do too. I could do a live of some of the fabrics that we have. So we have a lot of great fabrics, and I know I mentioned Thunderbird Handcrafted all the time. That is because the vast majority of my fabrics are from Thunderbird Handcrafted because I think they're amazing. I do have a lot of prints from other places as well. I just, the majority of the, you know, if I had to say, if somebody said, hey, where did most of your fabrics come from? It would be Thunderbird Handcrafted. So, in fact, she's doing an ice dye workshop. You can't buy them anymore, sorry. But I bought an ice dye kit so I can learn how to ice dye. And that is going to be really cool. I'm super excited about that. But she does stuff like that. Like the ice dye kit, this is the first time for her ice dye kit, but her she does kits a lot though. So here we go. All right. So these are going to be little zipper tabs, and I'll show you how I put them on there. Again, Jess at Okla Roots is a fantastic teacher. So if this confuses you how I do this, you can always go check her out as well. This is going to be a little zipper tab at the end of my zippers, and it's going to keep it from pulling in and bunching like I said the other one does. Again, I did not bring up my personal dog walking bag because or the river walker as we have deemed it. I have not brought mine up to show you this particular piece because, and why I do this, because the dogs are downstairs. I checked when I took a break. The dogs are downstairs and they get upset if I touch the bag and actually don't take them out. So, okay. So what we've done, we did this very similar to how we did the D-ring holders in the very beginning. We ironed it in half, put the raw edges in, and then ironed it again. So we have 4-layer small pieces here, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to take, I'm going to just cut this zipper tape as I go. There we go. And I'm going to put some tape on the inside. And some of this is measury, and some of this is, well, most of it's measury. But I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put it in the center. Yeah, I'll put it in the center. Because that's going to get, yeah, it's probably my best shot at not getting it in the way, but still holding the zipper where it needs to be. So there's one piece. Oh, I like this one. This one go in the front. I'm just doing these little short pieces just to really hold, oh, those both look very similar. I'm just doing it to hold the zipper where it needs to be, the zipper tape. And this is also one of those times where I'm going to have to put the zipper on early, even though I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to have to do it. Because if I don't, the zipper tab will not make it on here. Okay, here we go. Just to remind me to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a little sandwich out of the zipper tape. And you know what, I'm gonna This has to be 6.5 inches, she just says, when it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece that I think will work. So I can put the zipper tab on now, because I will forget. You know what? I'm just going to cut it right at 6.5 inches. And if I need to trim it down a little bit, because it's not going to, you know, it's because there's fabric on the end, I can do that. It's not a big deal. So it'll just be a teeny tiny bit. So do that. There we go. Okay. Oh, gotta melt the ends. Always melt the ends. And even though I might have to trim it down, I'm still gonna melt all the ends. Oh, that one was already done. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put the zipper pulls on so I can get that out of the way. Is that weird? Zipper tooth did something weird here. There we go. All right. I want it to go. Yeah, I'm going to start from this side. I'm going to do, okay, again, we did this before, but I'm looking at the zipper tooth to see which one is on top, and it's the right one. So I want it to still be the right one when I get the zipper pull put on. So pull it down a little and check. Yep, got it. Cool. Just going to pull it part way. This one, it looks like the left, well, there's a little teeny tiny piece of a one on the right, but the left is really the first full one on the side, or on the top. Oops. Yay. All right. First try on both. That was lucky. Okay. So now we're going to go back to this. I'm going to put the tab on. And what I'm doing here is taking this, my hand's in the way. Let me turn around a little bit here. Stop that. Okay, so I've got the tape already, the paper off the tape. I'm going to put the zipper in so it's sandwiched between these two pieces, just like that. And then I'm going to clip that. I only put that, like I said, I put the tape on the bottom just to help make it secure, but I don't really need the tape on the top usually. So I'm going to do this. Oh, first I'm going to measure. It has to be, what did it just say? 6.5 when you're done. All right, I'm going to trim this just a teeny tiny bit here. So I think that should do it. All right, but I want to, again, this is not how it's done in the pattern. This takes way longer, but it's worth it in my opinion, because like I said, Sewn Ideas has great patterns and I love them and I love the way that they do most things, but I just cannot get the zipper to look good if I don't put these zipper tabs on. So that's a me problem. That's not a them problem. So I'm going to lay this, I'm making sure this is at 6.5. Tucking that in to sandwich it in. And I'm going to measure it before I even clip it. I'm going to go ahead and measure it. Yep, we're at 6.5. Perfect. All right. So I've got one. Oh, I need to pull that down a little bit more. Serve the teeth better. There we go. Okay, so we got one done. And this one, I'm still using the same color zipper tape because I don't have any that really would go with this. So that's why I was trying to pull it all together with the greens and everything in with this pattern here. So I do like for all the colors to look nice together. So we're going to do the same thing. Take this paper off. And tuck this in, kind of sandwich it in there. I think I may have, yep. I need to trim this off already or move it. I'm going to move it. As the zipper teeth are taller in the center, and I did it from the side. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So I had to just pull it down a little bit so that you, so the zipper teeth is what was at the edge, at the end. All right, and then this one, again, 6.5. Yeah, I'm gonna cut just a teensy bit off this one too. And I'm literally cutting like, I don't know, between an 1/8 and a 1/16 of an inch off. I'm cutting very, very little off of it. I do want to get that piece straight. All right. I'll melt that down. Oops. That made one of the coils pop out. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing on this side. And this right here is why I put the zipper pull on. Even though I didn't do it on the front pocket, I did it here because once you get these zipper tabs sewn down, you're not getting a zipper pull on it. You're stuck. Okay. Pull that over. Nope. Gotta move that one too. Okay. There we go. One of these days, maybe I'll learn to do the zipper the way that the pattern does it. But for now, this is how it's going to be. 6.5. Yep, bingo. All right. Now we can continue. So we're going to take, basically we're going to take the front and the back. Do this one first. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Nope, we need the lining pieces as well. Lining pieces. I'm moving this all the way over here. Okay, so we have 2 lining pieces. And we have a front and a back. Okay, we're going to take the front with the hole on it. First, we're going to make sure these are all the same height. Yep, they're all the same height. Good. Okay, so we're going to take the front with the hole on it first. We're going to take this lining piece. Again, if you had printed fabric, you would make sure that the print is going the correct direction, but we don't, so we don't have to worry about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down tape in a minute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape, oh, nope, first I'm going to top stitch. Oh gosh. Let's top stitch these real quick. So they don't fall off. They don't become a problem later. Change my stitch length. It was still at the very long based stitches. This way. Okay, now I'm just going to very carefully stitch. Take this off too, now that it's in the machine. My pedal got pushed back. Hold on. Okay, I'll do a second stitch. I'll go back, go across. We don't need to go all the way to the ends because we're going to cut those off anyway. This is getting a little close. Whoa, yeah, that's all right. Okay. She gets a little feisty sometimes. It's all good. I'll do this side. Okay, I'm just gonna line this one up. Okay. Is this long enough? No, not really. Sometimes if you've got a zipper long enough, you can just kind of twist it around and keep going, but this one's not really long enough. So I'll just leave it at that. Trim these threads. And we'll do this last piece, and that then we can go back and line up everything and get these zippers installed. Let me get the stiletto in there, hold it well. Okay. All right. Bring some clips over and refill. There we go. And so now what we're going to do, this time I am going to mark centers because it's going to be a lot easier on me if I do. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to be a rebel. But now we do want to trim off the edges. We did them a little longer just to make sure we have plenty of space. But now we're going to trim them down the same width as the zipper, being careful not to actually cut the zipper itself. There we go. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to put that zipper back over there, out of the way. And we need, my tablet fell asleep again. Come back here. I don't really need it for this part, but it's nice to have it. All right, so we've got the front. We're going to do it this way so you can see it better. We've got the front and the front lining. Okay, so we're going to take the zipper and put it on we're going to put it on the lining part, but first I want to make sure. No, I'm going to do this backwards from what she says because I get confused. So when we've got the zipper on the bag like this, we want it going in the same direction as this one. So we've got it going in the same direction as this one right now, right? But that means we need to flip it like this. So it's still going the same direction, but it's upside down. And that's because once it gets sewn, it'll be like that. Okay, so I'm going to clip this on, and just to save myself a step later, I'm going to do the same thing for the front of this one. We want it going this direction. Just going to clip that there so we don't have to figure it out later. But that means that when this is on top like this, we flip it over, and that's how our zipper needs to be, like that. So it looks like it's going to go in the wrong direction, but that's because it's on the lining side. It is going the correct direction on the exterior side. So I'm going to unclip this, and I'm going to get back to the way they say to do it, which is to start with the lining right side up. And I'm going to put some tape. Come on. Tape across the top here, not all the way to the edge. And I'm going to get my ruler out and make sure that this is centered. And it's going to be very, very close to the edges, but not quite to the edge. And that is perfect right there. So I'm going to clip this side. And then I'm going to pull that tape up off of, or pull the paper rather, off of the tape. Just going to get it out of the way right there. And just lay that with the edges matched, and that looks like it shifted a little bit. Darn it. Yeah, it shifted just a touch. So I'm gonna this is why I like putting the zipper on later, because see how it bumps where the zipper pull is? There we go. That should do it. Okay, so there's our one side of our zipper on. But you see, like I was saying, it makes a bump where the zipper is because the teeth are apart. That's why I like doing the zipper, putting the zipper pull on later. But we're gonna go ahead and get some more tape. And now we're going to have the top of our bag, flipping it over and tape it down. Now, another way you could do this, if you don't want to use double-sided tape, is you can put this on here and then baste it down and then put this on and sew the actual seam allowance. But I don't do that usually. Sometimes I do, but not today. And this is where the zipper pull is, so it's not going to be straight. I'll pull that down a little bit out of the way. All right. There we go. Oops, this side is not. Something's wonky there. Doesn't want to line up properly because the zipper pull is in the way. I'll just put a clip on it and remember that. There. Okay. So, now let me check real quick. Ah, okay, there it is. All right, I'm going to get some more water real quick, and then we'll go right over to the sewing machine. I had to check, I'm almost out of water. I made some earlier and brought it up, so. All right, here we go. We are going to switch to the other, you know what? I'm gonna do both of them. We're gonna do both of them at the same time, just to make it easier at the sewing machine. So again, we're going, set this to the side. We want this to be going in this direction, so they're both going to the right when they close. And I can put my lining right side down, flip it over, and start from there. This just makes it easier for me, because the fact that it's going the wrong direction, it's closing to the left now, really confuses me. Even though I know it in my head, it just doesn't look right to me. So I like to do it the way that I just showed you, where you kind of just clip it to the front, plop it on there, and then you know it's going in the right direction, or the correct direction, whichever way that is for you. I just happen to like the zippers closing to the right. They don't have to. That's just the way that I prefer it. All right. Get that out of the way. I'm really just gonna eyeball it. It's so close to the edge. I'm just gonna eyeball it. And I think is just about perfect. So line this up. Move my zipper tape so that my zipper tape straightens up. And push it down on the tape. Make sure it gives it a good stick there. And then put some more tape right here. Making sure it's the top of it. It is. And we're going to line everything up and get this stuck to it as well. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Since the zipper's to my right, I am going to start at my left. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop, move this zipper pull a little over so it straightens out again. There we go. I'm going to clip these edges down here where the D-rings are. I think that would be smart, so they don't plop out and mess up my alignment. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go and we're going to stitch that on so that the zipper is installed on one side. Okay, I'm going to get my zipper foot. All right, and I want to pay real close attention to where my zipper pull is because I don't want to stitch by it without moving it because that will not look good on the zipper side. And I'm trying to remember, I think I just want to go. I'm looking up ahead because I think I just want to go tab to tab. Or do I want to go all the way across? No, I do want to go all the way across. Okay. Skipping ahead a few steps. Just to peek at what I have to do. Okay. So I'm going to start back here at the end. Now why aren't you lining up correctly? There we go. So the D-ring is right here where the D-ring is. It's trying to pull the fabric this way because it's such a little hump there where the D-ring connector is. But we will get it done here as long as this stops moving. There we go. All right. Oops. Oh. Okay, so we are on the zipper now. We're actually technically on the zipper tab. So we're gonna, okay, just remember where our zipper pull is. And I know where mine is because I put a clip there. So I'm gonna go a little farther. And now we're gonna stop and move that zipper pull. So back it up a little bit so that this can remain straight. I'm gonna hold this with a stiletto so it doesn't jump out of the way. Yeah, that didn't like it. It skipped stitches there. But luckily it was at the end, so it'll be fine. Okay, clip this. Now we do the other one. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. We're just gonna go nice and slow. Let me put a clip where my, actually, yeah. No, I'm gonna pull it farther down. Put a clip where it was, or where it is rather. Okay. Get up nice and close to that clip, but not too close because that's where the zipper pull is. Pull it down and we can keep going. Okay. One side of the zipper is done. Well, it's not quite done. Because we are going to, yep. I'm going to top stitch, but I think if I remember with this, with the zipper tab, we only want to top stitch from the zipper tab to the other edge of the zipper tab, if I remember correctly. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it that way and hope that I'm remembering right. So I'm going to iron it. I'm doing it just the exact same way as the previous zipper as far as the ironing is concerned. Get this way. I think with it this way, I'm just gonna fold it from the very start here like this. And we are gonna need to trim that back piece there, which that's okay. And it's gonna be one of the last steps that we do. Okay, let me get it this way. Make sure it's tugged nice and snug there. All right. And do a real quick run on this side. Waterproof canvas, water resistant canvas, you really do not want to iron directly. That's why I just did it really fast across there. Like before, I am going to drop clips everywhere apparently. Like before, I am going to clip the edge so that when I'm top stitching it doesn't get wonky on me. There we go. Pull that down nice and snug. Pull this one down snug beside it. Get that D-ring. Oh, this one is the same height. That's interesting. All right, no big deal. We'll trim what we need to trim and not trim what we don't need to trim. That's good. Just get it real quick across the top there. Oops. There. Okay, and we'll go back over to the machine and top stitch this. Is it it's 5 o'clock? What? All right. Y'all, it's 5 o'clock. I did not realize it was 5 o'clock. It was taking longer than I expected mostly because of, I took a couple of breaks and I'm doing 2 instead of just 1. So I'm going to continue on with this one so you can see how it's made. And then I will finish up the other one at another time. I think that is not going to, no, I need my other foot. A lot of decision making was happening. It's been good. It's 5 o'clock. I haven't even had lunch. So I'm hungry. I need to stop making more than one bag at a time for these lives. That's the issue. I just need to make one. Just to show how it's made. And then that's it. All right. I'm going to do very similar to what I did before, but I'm going to have the foot against the teeth. But I am starting at the edge of the little zipper tab. I'm not going all the way to the end. Okay. So let's make sure we're still snug nice and tight. We are. All right. I'm going to pull these through and tie them on the back. So, whoa, what's happening? Something is wrong. No, okay, maybe not. So I'm going to pull that zipper back out of the way. And then push it all the way over here. I think it's clear. Yep, okay. All right, we're just going to go to the edge of the tab. And like before, I'm going to pull these through, tie them off, and we will move on because I am going to just keep going on this one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this top stitch on this one, and then I'm going to call it a night, and then I will do a part 2 where I finish them. I think that's what I should do. Instead of just leaving you hanging on the other one, because if you really like the snow globe one, then you might want that one to be finished. Or see that one finished, rather. So I'll do the top stitch on that one, and then we'll go from there. And sorry about the technical difficulties on the other lot. Uh-oh. Oh, I just pulled it really short. Look at that. Okay. That's just going to make it a little tougher to tie. That's all. Ah, I did it again. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to put some fray check on this one because I'm afraid it's really going to come out. It's tied twice. It looks like it's in there nice and solid, but I'm going to put some fray check on it, assuming I don't cut myself with my snips first. Okay. I'm actually going to do 2 things to help this one piece, but I'll show you right after I get this one side top stitched. Why is it doing that? All right, here we go. All right, we're going to go in line with the zipper tab, just like the other one. I'm going to pause and back this up a little bit. right. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. It did it again. Why is it okay, I'm gonna have to figure out why it's shredding thread, because it did it again. I think, all right, I think I know what is happening. I also think that I'm going to do this top stitch over again. I'm going to pick it because I don't like how it looks. The bobbin thread is pulling up toward the top. But I will do that when we resume, because I'm going to have to change the thread. I'm going to have to unpick it. It's going to take a while. So I'll unpick it off camera and then we will pick up again later with part 2 on, I think we're going to have to switch to Jester at this point, at least for the top stitching. Yeah, I think we might have to do that. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Let me get back over to the other camera. Over here. Where's my... Oh, it's right in front of my face. I'll just move my camera around. You think? Was that for... Yeah, it's late. And that would explain why I'm hungry. Because it would. Okay, go back to main cam. So, okay. So, thanks for sticking in there with me if you watched the whole thing through. I know it was a long one. The next one will not be. I've just got to figure out why Birdie is shredding thread. Maybe switch over to Jester. We'll get that all straightened out and we'll hop back on. I will put a notification on Instagram for that. I think I can also set, because we use the software not directly through YouTube Studio, but I think I can set up a time so that you can see a live is coming as well on YouTube. But regardless, if you watch through the whole thing, I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much.